This is actually a dense cloud of dust that somehow did not produce until recently a tail. This is not a rock.
The signal was faint, almost missed. A rhythmic pulse buried in the cosmic static. It wasn't natural. For weeks, they pointed every dish they had at the source, a strange object from interstellar space they called 3I Atlas. Then, the James Webb Space Telescope delivered the image that changed everything. It wasn't a dead rock, it was glowing. Not from the sun's heat, but from within. And its trajectory had shifted. An impossible course correction that put it on a direct path toward Earth.
It's only the third time that we've actually detected an object that has come from beyond our solar system.
To put it mildly, this wasn't a comet, it was a message. And we are just now beginning to understand it. A knock at the door. They tell us space is silent. A vast, empty vacuum where rocks and ice tumble in a predictable cosmic dance. For the most part, they're right. Comets follow their orbits. Asteroids keep to their belts. Everything plays by the rules. But every now and then, something breaks the silence. Something that doesn't play by the rules. Enter 3I Atlas. First detected in July 2025, it was flagged by the Asteroid Terrestrial Impact Last Alert System, ATLAS for short. The 3I designation told the world it was the third interstellar object ever detected, a visitor from beyond our solar system. The astronomical community was buzzing, a pristine relic from another star, delivered right to our doorstep. It was a cause for celebration. But you see, the celebration didn't last long. What many overlooked were the initial readings. They were odd. Most comets, when they approach the sun, develop a glowing coma and a tail. This is basic science. The sun's heat vaporizes the ice on their surface, creating a beautiful, predictable display. But 3I Atlas was different. It was too bright. Way too bright for an object of its size, estimated to be about 3,000 feet across, and it had no tail. The James Webb Space Telescope, our most powerful eye in the sky, was tasked with taking a closer look. And that's when the story began to unravel. The Webb didn't just see a bright rock. It saw a steady, pulsing glow, a rhythmic thrum of light coming from deep within its core, 3 times brighter than it should have been. The glow wasn't a flicker, not the chaotic outgassing of a typical comet. Its rotation was as steady as a clock. Think about that. A celestial object moving with perfect mechanical precision. Natural objects don't do that. They tumble. They wobble. They are beautifully, reassuringly imperfect. This was perfect. Too perfect. Then came the thermal readings. Multiple teams, working independently, confirmed a thermal heartbeat, a wave of heat pulsing every few hours, originating from inside the object. The sun wasn't the source of its warmth. The heat was coming from within. It was generating its own energy. But not all things are what they seem. The mainstream explanation? A unique chemical composition, perhaps some exotic radioactive elements. A 1 in a billion fluke of nature. A convenient, tidy explanation designed to calm the nerves. But the thing nobody tells you is what came next. Strange radio signals. Faint, but undeniably there. They weren't the random noise of a quasar or the hiss of the cosmic background radiation. They were structured, narrowband, repeating, a pattern. To put it mildly, it was the kind of signal astronomers had been searching for over 60 years. Yet, the moment it was found, it was dismissed, labeled as interference from an Earth-based satellite, a simple case of crossed wires. But how do you explain away the trajectory? In mid-August, with observatories around the world tracking its every move, 3I Atlas flared. Its brightness surged by nearly 40%. And then, it changed course. It wasn't a gentle nudge from solar winds. It was a deliberate, calculated shift. It bent its path, moving closer to the plane of our solar system, lining itself up with Earth's orbit. It was an impossible maneuver. Comets don't have engines. They don't perform course corrections. This one did. The official line was that a large, unseen chunk of the object broke off, acting like a natural thruster. A cosmic coincidence, but when you add it all up, The unnatural glow, the internal heat, the radio signals, the impossible change in direction. Coincidence starts to look a lot like a cover story. The dots are there, hiding in plain sight. This isn't a comet, it's a craft, a probe, or maybe something more. And it's not just passing through. It's here for a reason. Now, what if this isn't the first time this has happened? A precedent. Many people are crazy about anything that seems out of the ordinary, and in 2017, they got their wish. Long before 3I Atlas entered our skies, there was another visitor, another anomaly that broke all the rules. Its name was Oumuamua, a Hawaiian word meaning a messenger from afar arriving first. The name was more fitting than anyone knew at the time. Oumuamua was the first interstellar object ever detected, and from the very beginning, it was a puzzle wrapped in a mystery. First, there was its shape. Based on how it reflected sunlight, astronomers concluded it was long and thin, like a cigar or a shard of rock, 10 times longer than it was wide. Nothing like the potato-shaped asteroids we see in our own solar system. It was tumbling end over end, on a path that would take it right through the heart of our cosmic neighborhood. Just like 3I Atlas, Oumuamua was strange. It had no coma, no tail. It was a dark, reddish color, suggesting it was made of rock and metal, not ice. The thing is, when it passed the sun, it did something that still has scientists scratching their heads. It accelerated. It sped up, pushing away from the sun faster than gravity alone could explain. The mainstream explanation was outgassing, the same excuse they're trying to use for 3I Atlas. They claimed that unseen jets of gas, probably hydrogen, were pushing it along. The problem? No one could detect any gas. The Spitzer Space Telescope, designed to see the heat from such jets, saw nothing. Absolutely nothing. It was a ghost engine, pushing a silent craft. This is where the story gets really interesting. One of the top astronomers at Harvard University, a man with a reputation to uphold, put forward a radical idea. He suggested that Oumuamua wasn't a natural object at all. He proposed it was an artifact, a piece of alien technology, maybe a solar sail pushed by the light of the sun, or a probe sent to scout our solar system. He was, to put it mildly, ridiculed. The scientific community closed ranks. They called his theory reckless, irresponsible. They doubled down on the hydrogen outgassing theory, even with no evidence to support it. Why were they so quick to shut down the debate? What were they so afraid of? You see, Oumuamua and 3I Atlas are like two peas in a pod. Both came from interstellar space. Both lacked a comma. Both exhibited strange, non-gravitational acceleration. Both defied easy explanation. The first time, it was an anomaly, a once-in-a-lifetime curiosity. But a second time, that's not a coincidence. That's a pattern. What if Oumuamua wasn't just a random visitor? What if it was a scout, a forerunner, sent to survey the system, to check things out before the main event? It flew by, collected its data, and then accelerated out, back into the void. And now, a few years later, 3I Atlas arrives. And this one isn't just flying by. It has changed course. It has slowed down. It's putting itself into a stable orbit. It's staying. The thing nobody tells you is that the signals from 3I Atlas began shortly after it crossed the same region of space where Oumuamua made its closest approach to the sun. It's as if Oumuamua left something behind, a beacon, a cosmic breadcrumb for the next ship to follow. We're not just dealing with one strange rock. We're dealing with a coordinated effort, a deliberate two-stage arrival. First the scout, then the main craft. And the most chilling part? Spectroscopic analysis of 3I Atlas, a way of seeing what it's made of by looking at the light it reflects, has revealed something impossible. The readings show absorption lines that don't match anything in our scientific catalogs. They hint at metallic alloys, rare earth elements, the kind of things you find in advanced manufacturing right here on Earth. Some features even align with theoretical quantum materials that have never been observed in nature. This isn't a rock, it's an engine, a machine, and it's waking up. But what if the signal it's sending out isn't meant for us? A conversation begins. For decades, we've been shouting into the void, sending our own signals out into the cosmos, hoping for an answer. The Arecibo message, the golden record on the Voyager probes, they were our messages in a bottle, tossed into the cosmic ocean. We announced our presence. We shared our music, our biology, our location. We assumed we were alone. That was our first mistake. The thing is, we weren't just sending messages. We were also listening. The search for extraterrestrial intelligence, or SETI, has been scanning the skies for over half a century, sifting through the cosmic static for a single, coherent signal. They found nothing. Or so they told us. But not all things are what they seem. What if they did find something? A signal so profound, so paradigm-shifting, that they decided to keep it a secret. Now let's go back to 3I Atlas. Remember those strange, narrowband radio signals? The ones they dismissed as satellite interference? What many overlooked is where they were pointed. They weren't broadcasting randomly in all directions. They were focused. A tight beam, aimed directly at a seemingly empty patch of space between Jupiter and Saturn, a location known as a Lagrange point, a gravitationally stable spot where an object can remain stationary for millions of years, a perfect place to hide a listening post. Think about it. Why would a comet be sending a focused radio beam to a specific point in our solar system? Why would it be talking to something that isn't there? Unless, of course, something is there. Something that arrived a long, long time ago. Something that's been waiting. This is where the story takes a turn into the truly bizarre. A small, independent listening post in South America, run by a group of rogue astronomers, decided to do something the big players wouldn't. They took the strange, repeating signal from 3I Atlas and using a powerful transmitter, they beamed it back. They essentially said, "We hear you." For 72 hours, there was silence. And then it happened. A reply. A new signal coming from 3I Atlas. It wasn't the same repeating pattern. It was different, more complex. It was a direct response. The original signal was a simple mathematical sequence, a universal language. The reply was a perfect match to the pattern they had sent. It was unmistakable. It was a conversation. This changes everything. This isn't just a craft. It's a crew, an intelligence, and it's communicating. It responded to us. But what did it say? The full message is still being decoded, but preliminary analysis suggests it contains vast amounts of data. Star maps, complex physics, biological information. It's a literal encyclopedia of alien knowledge. A gift or a warning? The official story, of course, is that this never happened. The rogue observatory has been dismissed as a collection of conspiracy theorists. Their data has been called fraudulent. But the evidence is there for anyone willing to look. The signal logs, the transmission records. It's all been leaked online. You see, the powers that be don't want you to know the truth. They are terrified of what this revelation would do to society. The religions, the economies, the very fabric of our civilization is built on the idea that we are the pinnacle of creation. This discovery shatters that illusion. It tells us we are not alone, and we are not the most advanced civilization in the galaxy. What if the message wasn't just for us? What if our little hello simply interrupted a conversation that was already in progress? The signal was aimed at the Lagrange point. It was talking to the listening post. A post that may have been left by Oumuamua, or by something that came even before. We may have just inserted ourselves into a cosmic dialogue we have no business being a part of. We picked up a phone line that wasn't meant for us. And now, they know we're on the line. The real question isn't whether we're alone. The question is, who else is listening? As we approach the final days before its closest encounter, one thing is certain. The world is about to change forever. The final piece of the puzzle is perhaps the most disturbing. Remember the complex data being broadcast by 3I Atlas, the star maps, the physics? Buried deep within that data is a recurring symbol, a complex geometric shape that has appeared before, in ancient cave paintings, in Sumerian texts, in the designs of the pyramids. A symbol that has been hidden in our own history for thousands of years. Waiting. We stand on the edge of a new reality. The evidence is clear. The visitor is here. What happens next is anyone's guess. Will they bring enlightenment or extinction? Perhaps the truth is that we were never truly alone, just blissfully ignorant. What do you think? Let us know in the comments. And if you want to stay ahead of the lies, make sure to like and subscribe.